With the SUV coupe segment continue to grow in popularity, it would seem natural for Genesis to introduce their version. I'm at the 2023 New York International Auto Show, and this beautiful orange SUV right here is the GV80 Coupe concept. Let's take a first look. Now, over the years, Genesis has showed us a lot of beautiful concept vehicles. However, for this vehicle here, it basically looks production ready. In fact, you should be able to see a production version of this car sometime next year. We're going to probably see it in Korea first, but this basically wears the new face of Genesis. As you guys know, the GV80 SUV has been around for about 2 years, and there'll be a refreshed version that'll be based off of this front end. And this exterior color is also called Searing Magma Orange. This is kind of inspired by the volcanoes that surround the Korean peninsula, which, as you guys know, that's Genesis's home. And this car, I have to say, is absolutely stunning, especially in the color with these signature styling elements here. You have the dual light blade lights here. They also kind of extend to the fenders. You have a slightly updated version of their crest grille with the carbon fiber accents, the black accents, along with the new Genesis logo here, which kind of has more of a dark silver look to it. Overall, it really stands out in a fantastic way. As you guys know, Genesis is kind of killing it in terms of exterior design, so it doesn't surprise me that their coupe version of the SUV is going to also do it as well. Now, underneath the hood, they weren't ready to quite talk about the powertrain specs, but they are telling us that it will be internal combustion power, which means we should have a version of the 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 under the hood. We don't know, however, if this is the one that's in the current GV80, which makes 375 horsepower, or they also have a supercharged version in the G90 that makes around 409 horsepower. I suspect it's going to be more along the high performance version, but remember, Genesis is kind of going all electric, but they also hinted that this model here won't be going electric. We will have to wait until the next generation GV80 comes out. As you guys know, it's an SUV, so it'll have all-wheel drive. It should have their 8-speed automatic transmission, and it should have very good performance for what people demand in this class of vehicle. Now, looking at the rest of the profile here, I want to talk about those gorgeous wheels. First of all, this is a concept car. I want to remind you of that, but these are a 23-inch wheel wrapped in a 285/40 with Pirelli P0 all-season tire. Now, of course, they could have gone with a more aggressive summer tire, but I kind of like how they went with an all-season. I love the classic 5-spoke design over here with the massive brakes. You can see they're cross-drilled rotors. I don't know how large they are, but those appear to be almost like a 16 or 17-inch diameter rotor. It looks really good, especially how it fills out the wheel wells. I also love the kind of body-colored fender trim. You have the same signature light blade over here that kind of continues from the front of the headlight to the side. You also have a designed by Genesis logo there that is also lit up. You can see the mirrors are carbon fiber. You have a lot of blacked out accents. And then this concept car looks like it has a carbon fiber roof. So I'm not entirely sure, if the production version will have that or if they're going to do a pano roof. I suspect they'll probably do a pano roof instead. But this is where, of course, you're going to see the biggest difference between the regular GV80. The coupified SUV concept has definitely been, trending a lot of years. And you can see Genesis is doing the same thing here, where it's a 4-door vehicle, but because of the swooping roofline, they're going to call it a coupe. I think it's beautiful. In fact, most of the coupified SUVs, I don't like the styling, except for maybe the Porsche Cayenne Coupe, but the Genesis GV80 Coupe concept is also another one of those vehicles. You can see it has a spoiler up top here, another spoiler over here, and this area kind of reminds me a little bit of maybe the Kia EV6, but of course you have the Genesis styling themes here with the dual light LED taillights. You actually have a third brake light here in the spoiler, and then down here you can see you have the exhaust tips, which kind of mimic the crest grille in its shape, along with some more carbon fiber trim. But overall, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Again, this is still a concept, but you should see the production version show up sometime early next year. Now, typically with concept vehicles, they don't really have much of an interior to show you, but as you can see, this car is basically production ready, aside from maybe a couple of trim pieces here, and of course these seats. The first thing you're gonna notice are these kind of carbon fiber Recaro bucket style seats, which I don't suspect the production version will get a seat that quite this aggressive, but you can see it has a really cool design to it with the suede Alcantara, the leather, the contrasting orange stitching, the 5-point racing harness capable seats as well. But if you look at the rest of the interior, you can see you have carbon fiber materials. This is a genuine carbon fiber. The same controls that we see in the regular GV80. So you can see the glass shifter rotary dial here, the controls for the infotainment system, which that is a 14.5-inch display. And then you also have the fully digital 12-inch display here with the 3-dimensional look, along with the same Genesis steering wheel here. With the orange stitching and the Alcantara, along with leather along the dash. So as you can see, it is basically production ready. However, you probably won't see a seat that's quite this aggressive, but overall, just like the regular GV80, the front seat area is going to have all the luxury and technology that you basically demand. But let me show you guys the rear seat area, because this is where the car also has a pretty cool design. As you can see, this is kind of like bucket seats back here as well. So you have a 2 plus 2. Now, I don't suspect this will make it to production because most people want at least a 5-seater, but the fact that they were able to do something that's this race inspired, you can see it's the same kind of bucket, carbon fiber bucket seats. You have heated and cooled seats back here along with your own set of climate controls. You have a really plush carpet here with the kind of orange accented stitching that kind of matches the exterior, along with the entire back of the seat, which as you can see is also painted orange. So overall, we expect the production version to kind of have a actual 5-seat layout, but this model here, being a concept, definitely has a lot of features in it to make you think that a production version is right around the corner. So even though the GV80 Coupe concept is still just technically a concept, there are a lot of clues here that show me that this car is basically production ready. The exterior styling, I think Genesis really knocked it out of the park here. They took all the lines that we love about the regular GV80 and gave us a coupified version that really stands out, especially in this searing orange magma paint. I especially hope this color makes it to production. I'm surprised to see that it's not going to be an electric vehicle, but that 3.5 liter twin turbo V6 is going to provide really good performance as well. And as you can see, this is the best angle of the vehicle here. And if you guys are looking to try and get your hands on this vehicle, we expect it to show up in showrooms in early 2024. However, that will probably be in the Korean market first. The US will probably end up being 6 months later. And while they weren't ready to talk about pricing just yet, I'll remind you, pricing of the regular GV80 starts at around $56,000, goes up to just over 70 grand. I'm gonna estimate this car, when it comes out, should be more expensive. How much more expensive, we're not entirely sure. But again, for the money that Genesis charges for the regular version, the coupe version, I expect it to also be a relatively strong value. For Redline Reviews here at the 2023 New York International Auto Show, I'm Sofyan Bey.